You know, we're taught to believe that healing is light, love, rainbows, and butterflies, and fairies, and mystical this, mystical that. But truly, what healing is the realization of how much grief we will have to feel, how much we will have to let go in order to be who we are meant to be. In this video, we will be talking about how healing actually is grieving and what that looks like, and tips and tricks on how to go through that and how to better yourself in that experience. So let's get started. Before starting this video, make sure to like and subscribe and support the channel. And if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Nomi, and I do a lot of spiritual talks like this, spiritual chit chats, to talk about my journey and what I'm going through, and some tips and tricks in order to help you on your journey. And yeah, like always, I will be looking at my phone, my handy dandy phone, because I do write notes down. So just to get some backstory to this, where I was in my life before I started my healing process, I was just very deep in the depths of the dark soul, like they say, in the dark parts of the soul. I was deep in it. A lot of mental loops, a lot of mental struggles. Also just at the pivotal point of my life where I was about to graduate high school and about to become an adult, and I just moved to a different state. Like, I'm going not only am I going through a lot of mental changes, I'm going through a lot of life changes. And so they're all hitting me at once. As they're hitting me at once, baby girl had no tools. I had no good support with myself or in my life. I was literally in the waves of life with no life support. What kind of light was I expecting from healing? Was peace. I truly just wanted peace. I wanted so much peace, not just in my life, but with myself. And sometimes we have a habit of believing that healing will have this instant gratification, this instant relief. And what it is that we have this expectation of instant. We live in a lifestyle where we instantly get something, or we instantly work to get to something, and we're pushed in this masculine energy to get it. And so we kind of put masculine energy into healing, and we put those expectations on, okay, when I instantly choose to heal, I'm instantly gonna have this and that. I thought once I start healing, I would right away be at peace. I'll be light instantly. Like, I thought it was gonna be one of those moments where I woke up and be like, oh my God, I feel at peace. And what actually came up instead was a lot of grief, a lot of days of crying, a lot of nights not being able to sleep, a lot of just literally sitting and daydreaming about stuff I forgotten as a kid that happened to me, or I forgotten parts of my childhood that happened, and a lot of grieving for my inner child. It was like I was continuously at funerals with myself. Because not only are you grieving, but you're also having to give gratitude for what's being taken away, for what's being asked to die off. As much as that version of you sucked, or that habit or that thought pattern, as much as it sucked to be in, it also kind of saved you in a lot of parts. It did what it could. It did the best that it could. So you're having to grieve with gratitude. It is a very interesting dynamic to be in, because when we think gratitude, we only think joy, happy thoughts, happy this, but gratitude can look like being happy of the ugly, being grateful for the ugliness of things. The more I grieved, the more things were coming off of me, and the more weight was being washed over me. And so for me, peace looked like less stuff on my shoulders. Once I was able to completely let go of a version of myself, I didn't have that attachment anymore to it. And so I was at peace, because I knew I closed that relationship, that journey, that part of me the way I wanted to. And it was like a peaceful ending. And so that brought peace to me. How did this grieve surprise me or change my perspective of healing? I just didn't know that healing brought grieving. I really just thought healing was, I don't know, kind of just like cleaning up a room. Like, you just go to a room and you clean up the mess, and but I also forgot that even when you clean rooms, whatever you're cleaning out holds some type of memory. It holds some type of energy, and you're giving it up in order to get something new. So that just surprised me that I didn't really put those two together. I didn't realize that would be acts of me, is to, okay, you want to clean this space up so badly. Are you willing to give up what's in this space? Even just the room perspective. Once I cleaned everything out, I realized how big my room was. I realized how much like space I actually had. And then it made me bring out more creativity of, okay, how do I want to fill this space up again? What shifted once I allowed myself to grieve was first the perspective of healing. Also, it made me have a different respect to healing, where I was like, oh, this thing is no joke. This thing is no joke. She means business, okay? Also, it made me it shifted how I saw myself, where it made me feel more like powerful. I was like, wow, Nomi, look at you. You really, thank you for making space for those parts of me. Thank you for making space for me. Want to get closer to myself. It made me more curious about myself. It made me want to, it was like I was doing it for myself, where I was just like, yeah, I deserve this. Or yeah, I want to make myself happy. I want to make myself proud. So I'm going to continue doing this. And so how did grieve become the light? How did it look at first? Grieving became the light because it shined new parts of myself that I never saw before. It's like when you grieve over something that's old, now you have space to look at something new. And so when I let go of this old version of myself, a new one started to come up. It's pretty much like, when you cut leaves off a plant that's dying, the next day you got babies sprouting out of it. And it's like, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, I never seen this part of me, or oh, I never knew I could be like this, or dress like this, or speak like this. It was like unlocking a new character. I was like, oh, okay. Enjoy who you are in that moment. It's really helpful because it validates you. It keeps you wanting to keep doing it, and it makes you excited for what's next. That's how that started to be the light in my healing journey. I was seeing these new versions of myself, and those were light. Those was the light work in me, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I want to keep doing it. So it's like the light work started to be my motivation. Those versions of myself started to be my motivation. Within grieving, how I learned patience and surrendering and self-love through that was patience of understanding that some funerals are not just a one-day thing. It's a process. It's a process when a death is happening. It's stages to it. So having patience in each stage of it, and how it looks and how it feels to be in it. Because the more you allow yourself to be in it, the more you are letting go, the more you're shedding, the more realizations you're having, the more you're able to be fully present with yourself. And you're also able to surrender to that. You're able to surrender to the idea of, this version of myself meant so much to me, had done so much to help me in my life, that it really did the best that it could. In respect, what I can do is surrender to that. Surrender to that relationship, understanding that yes, it was messed up, and that version of myself wasn't the best, but to respect that I did what I could. I did the best that I could, and I can surrender to that. I can allow myself to feel that. And it's also showing self-love. I love myself enough that I'm allowed to grieve. I'm allowed to sit with myself. I'm allowed to be in this space with myself and really feel what it feels like to let go of this. And yeah, so before ending this video, I want to ask you guys some questions just to ask yourself, to help you within your journey and to give you some guidance within that part. The first question is, what am I grieving right now that I didn't expect to lose? Am I judging my healing because it doesn't look positive? How can grief itself be a sacred part of my healing? I want to just say before ending this video is, hold space for yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. Respect yourself in this journey of letting go, in this journey of grieving. And I promise it will always take care of you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and support the channel. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Love and peace, y'all.